It looks good now, but in the summer you can't see the water.
Because it's so overgrown?
Yeah, there's some invasive sort of water plant in there that I've never seen before.
Right.
And it just fills it, it just chokes it.
Right.
I think it wants digging out and relining. Yeah. I'd like to see it cleared, I'd like to see the pond made a bit bigger.
Yeah.
The invasive weed removed.
Yeah.
And it filled with fish again, so kids can fish.
Yeah.
The Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And we've got in a 5-year project working alongside the council to look at the kind of bigger picture schemes of what they're doing on the parks. So we would be putting in some stuff about what's here for wildlife and what can we do to conserve it. But the other part of the project is engaging the community and talking to lots of local people about what they want and what they'd like to see, and trying to get both neatly measured up on a map. And we do have some capital work stuff we can do, but to look towards the future to say, well, actually the community's coming together to say, they want these types of things here, and trying to fund it in the long run. So we'll run programmes for young people, doing outdoor learning and volunteering, and then we're going to be engaging local residents more in seeing if they want to come in, contribute, and learn some skills in the process.
It's marvellous,
It is, yeah.
Because,
yeah.
like I say, if a lot of it was farmland, it wasn't accessible at one bit.
Yeah.
Now it's further over the back, they're all sports fields, they've all gone now. It's just dog walkers area now, which is good.
We're at Kinworth Park walking for pleasure. We do local walks. This one comes up quite regularly. We appreciate what's been done with the kids from Winterhill have done. They've done a fantastic job here.
The students have been in the pond taking a lot of weeds out. You really couldn't see the water when we started. And they've done a lot of cutting back. They've sown a lot of bulbs, a lot of wildflower seeds. The footpath the students have put in themselves, put some benches in. They've cut all those trees back over there. So they've been working on improving the wildlife elements, but they've also been working on improving the safety of the site for people when they're coming through. So some of the cutting back has been so people feel safer. And the other element, which is, I must admit, came as a surprise to me, is the students have been learning real leadership skills. So the older students, once they'd done a couple of years, you could see that they were teaching the younger people, and they were saying, no, you need to do it this way, you need to do that, and kind of really taking ownership of the group. So I think their leadership and confidence has really grown, and if I'm honest, I didn't expect that to be as successful, but it's been really good. So I think they get a real sense of achievement from the environment as well, but then they're getting friendships.
And it's worth preserving. Yeah, definitely is. But it's nice. You don't have to go far to think that you're in a nice wildlife area.
A lot of people walk on here, come down for walks,
It would be nice for the pond to be dredged.
Yes.
Completely, and reset so we could have fish and everything else in it.
Well, it was a go-to place for children in our area at one time,
I mean, the kids from Winterhill come and do a lot of work.
They've done a lot, haven't they?
But they're not capable of doing the dredging work, which would be lovely to get it done. It'd be nice at the back of the houses to have a path all the way down cleared.
Yeah.
A lot of residents do clear it, but a lot's overgrown and you can't go down that path.
Yeah.
I think that it's a shame that it's all growing over like this because, like often you get breeding ducks on there first thing in spring, and then by summertime it's so overgrown, that bulrushes and everything, that they can't swim about.
As you were saying, it's also about involving people who live locally in making it happen and keeping up with it. Do you think that's a good idea?
I definitely do, yeah, and I think a lot of these people would as well, because a lot walk the dogs on it. And these are people who've lived here for a long time, because, we sort of like moved into this area in 77. My kids grew up here, and so did all these houses. They'd all got kids the same age, and then a lot of them have stayed, so I'm sure a lot of them would be really interested in it.
Plans for this coming next 12 months are to take out the decking at the side and landscape it like this side really, because it doesn't really do anything. So we might as well make it into much more of a meadow. And that's the students' ideas, not mine. I've always been keen that it's led by the students. They want to put some more benches in and extend the footpaths. And they also want to do some more thinning on that side. And then possibly later this year do some wildflower seeding just a bit further beyond the site. So it's going to be a busy year. I think this year will be a huge impact. I think one of the things that we need to get through, it struck me last time, is that Just because sometimes it looks untidy doesn't mean it's not good. You know, it's about wildlife at the same time, which is why it looks a bit overgrown at the moment. But you know, we've been leaving that for the birds and the insects and stuff.
At Winterhill, we're really just starting up this year. So in the first 2 years of the project, we were at Eastwood and Boston Park, and Winterhill's coming online now. We've had some, really good correspondence so far with the likes of Winterhill School and Kevin Burke, who runs the kind of country park side of the council's portfolio, and they've already been doing a load of great work there over the last few years, involving young people in making improvements to the park and especially the engine ponds area. So we're hoping to work with that group this year and the wider community who we're hoping to be engaged in Natural Neighbours project overall and see if they'd like to get involved in some of that planning for what might happen over the next 2 years.
And if you come back in 2 years' time, can we gather again? And
Of course we can, yeah.
Yes,
Of course we can. Yes.